Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report because without you guys, man, I certainly wouldn't be sending out all these Jobu t-shirts. And these are orders that we got just yesterday afternoon after I mailed some more out. So these are actually in the mail or will be in the next hour. So all you guys that have gotten Jobu t-shirts, thank you for helping to spread the mojo. We're going to take the money and we're going to be using that for tailgates and as well as upgrading stuff here on the channel. So I appreciate all the support. And it's a 3-day weekend. It is Labor Day weekend. And when we come back from the holiday, we're going to be focused on the real holiday. That is the NFL season. And today is a big day because it's cut down day. There's a lot of guys, 1,000 plus, that are going to be looking for a new home and looking to keep their NFL career going. And this is that value time of year where you're looking at everybody's waiver wire because there's going to be some veterans out there that still have some tread on the tires that can really help your team that you can bring in as a stopgap. And we have some places we could definitely use some people. I'd like to have another linebacker. I'd like to have a nice veteran pass rusher and maybe even a defensive back or safety. So I'm hoping that we're able to find some good quality guys at, reasonable rates that are going to help out our team. Because we all know football is a war of attrition. You may have top-notch starting guys, but sometimes the season comes down to the next man up, as we found out Dak Prescott last year. Dak Prescott was the third option. Who thought that Dak Prescott was going to end up coming in and being the guy to carry us to the playoffs? That's how it works in football. So, big day today for a lot of guys. But I got to tell you, this whole Zeke Elliott situation has just gotten terribly ugly. The more that comes out, the worse it looks for the NFL. And I hate to say that because I love the NFL. We know I talk constantly about the NFL. In fact, I even said to an NFL VP that I'm an NFL whore. I'll do anything for football. You guys know I'm a football addict. I love the product. I spend my money on the product. I spend my time on the product. The product on the field is the greatest product in the world. But the NFL needs to stick to the product on the field. They are not the court system, and nor should they be. Let the court system handle crime. And once they determine something is done, then you deal with it. This being proactive, we're going to do our own investigation, the hell with the court system, keeps coming back to biting you in the ass. And the worst part about it is the more you hear about Kia Roberts, oh my God, the testimony that she took. Now I can understand why they didn't send anybody else to talk to Tiffany. I've got land-basted on this situation by a lot of people because I said from the beginning when I first heard the 911 tape that it did not sound like somebody who was abused from domestic violence. I know people. I've been there with people who've made calls to the police that are scared to death to make that call. I listen to that and I'm saying, that's not somebody that's fearful who's been beaten for the last week. One, you're making a call and it's very blasé. I was calling because I was wondering about where my domestic violence case was and what's going on with that. Ma'am, are you okay? Do you need physical? Do you need to go to the hospital? Do you need police? Or no, it's okay. I don't need to go to the doctor. And they're like, well, is he there? Yeah, he's here. Now that's the second thing that came off to me. If you're being abused by somebody, it's a very difficult thing to call the police. Emotionally, physically, and the fear factor. Because typically, if you're being beat by somebody, you don't call them when they're right there for fear of being beaten again. Because if they catch you on the phone talking to police, that could be your life. things do escalate to that point in domestic violence. But it was like, oh, well, he's here. Oh, I got to go. Bye. I was like, from that point on, I was just like, it's just not quite right. And I've been going through and I've been pointing out to you guys that have been watching this that the testimony and the stuff that we kept hearing, when you started hearing about text messages of asking a friend to lie about being pulled out of the car, and then more things for the blackmail. I said, to me, I don't see where there's a case. It's nothing you can prove in court, because any lawyer worth his beans is going to go after the credibility of the witness and say, she lied about this. And if she lied about one thing, you don't trust any of the other testimony. And so when Kia Roberts goes ahead and does this interview, Kia Roberts basically put it out there for her. She said, and you can look at the transcripts of it. She's questioning. She's like, well, you got this person, this person, this person, this person who are saying that, no, you didn't get beat. You got a person who said that you were in a bikini in a pool the next day with no bruises. There was a person in the car with you who said, you asked me to lie. And then she says, well, she was really a friend of Zeke's before she was a friend of mine. And, it's all of Zeke's friends. And now they're getting jewelry and things like that and been paid off. But I'm not saying they're being paid off. And I'm just sitting there looking at, the more you look at this transcripts and more and more you question her testimony. I'm not saying that, it is possible that Zeke beat her. There are relationships that are toxic and things can go both ways. But looking at that evidence and looking at what came out from that, or what is coming out, sorry, NFL, you look bad. You need to stick to the product on the field and let the court systems deal with domestic violence. Because when we go through Josh Brown, where he was convicted and you give him 1 game, that's the time your 6-game policy should come into effect and say, okay, you were convicted of this because of the court system. We're going to put you down for 6 games. Stop trying to be the guy that's going to go ahead and do what nobody else can do. Because now, as much as I like to call my team the black sheep, it's true. We don't get breaks in games. If there's a crazy call, it's going against the Cowboys. To have a personal foul for going into the huddle and coming out of the huddle, even though he didn't go into the huddle, that has only been called twice in the history of the NFL. And both times called by the same official against the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. You start to wonder, is there really a conspiracy against the Dallas Cowboys? When you look at the media that covers only the stuff that the Dallas Cowboys, because guys like Stephen A. Smith, they don't call Zeke the accused. They call him guilty. They pound out there like they know for sure. They've seen the evidence. They saw it for them damn selves and condemn these guys. But yet, there's guys out there who have done this stuff that have been convicted, but nobody says jack crap about them unless they're a Dallas Cowboy. Yeah, Randy Gregory smoked some weed. Wasted pick. But do you think that Randy Gregory is the only guy that ever smoked some weed in the NFL and got suspended for it? You want to look at guys like, no, I'm not even gonna sully some of these guys' names, but guys that are out there now that have been signed on teams in our division have had domestic violence ones, long histories of ones. Guys out there that are doing all kinds of swagger commercials and stuff out there have problems with weeds and violence and stuff. But for some reason, it's only headlines. It's the Dallas Cowboys. And that's why I call them the black sheep. You're not going to get a break. The NFL is going to go after you harder than they're going to go after anybody else to make an example out of you. And I guess that's just the way it is. So it's going to be another busy day. Headed out to the post office to take care of that. Got to get some cables and stuff. Going to be doing a few little changes in here, trying to upgrade the station and everything else because we're growing like crazy, and I want to make sure that I put out the best product that I can for you guys. And I want to thank everybody for all the support, and so happy that the season is about to kick off. 1 week, actually less than that. Come Thursday night, the season will kick off. But in 8 days, we'll be here talking about the Dallas Cowboys versus the Giants, and I can't wait till that happens. Enjoy your weekend and be safe out there because I want to see you here.